Dear teachers, welcome to JSN English Learning. We are with Unit 4 of the revised PG-TRB syllabus, and we are taking up J.M. Synge's Rider to the Sea, which was published in 1904. And J.M. Synge, what is the full name? His full name is John Millington Synge or Synge. You can pronounce it anyhow. He was a very important figure in Irish literary renaissance. He was a very important figure in Irish theatre revival. Yeah. He is an Irishman. He played very important role in reviving the Irish theatre. And what did he do? He portrayed the harsh rural condition of an island called Aran Islands. He was a very good craftsman. He was a very good playwright. Using all his skills, he presented the rural condition of an island. What was the name of the island? This was once net question. They asked for a match the following type question, and they given certain writers and the places they portrayed in their writings. Adula correct pair was J.M. Synge and the Aran Island. Did you get that, teachers? And who are the characters in Synge's work? In Synge's work, the main characters are Roman Catholic peasants of the rural Ireland. Rural people were his subjects, and their slang, their dialects was the dialect of the playwright. He did not write in a standard language. Instead, he used the peasant's dialect. What was the peasant dialect? I will explain to you during the course of this lecture. Are you there with me, teachers? Yes. Next one is he was a very great lover of nature. So you will find a romantic strain in his works. அவருடைய ஒர்க்ல வந்து ரொமான்டிக் எலமெண்ட்ஸ் இருக்கிறத நீங்க பாப்பீங்க. And he wrote the play just to present the life of the simple peasants of the western part of Ireland. They are so what we were discussing is Synge did not have any political agenda or social agenda or moral agenda. Instead, he was just presenting the life of the simple peasants, the rural folk of the Western Island, their lifestyle, their problems. And his writing is a kind of realism. What kind of realism? It's called object realism. Okay. He was observing the characters very well, and he was presenting it as itself. Right? So there was a kind of poetic quality in his works. His works span into various genres. Our tragedy எழுதிருக்காரு, comedy எழுதிருக்காரு, farcical comedy அப்படின்னா cheap type of comedy, including physical actions. தலைமுறை நக்கோமுட்டி தலையா அப்படின்லாம் கவுண்டமணி செந்தில் காமெடி எல்லாம் இருக்கு இல்லையா, ஒருத்தர் அடிச்சு அந்த அடிக்கிறத பார்த்து மற்ற எல்லாம் சிரிப்பாங்க. அந்த மாதிரி காமெடி இட்ஸ் கால்ட் ஃபார்ஸ். very cheap type of comedy or mean type of comedy. And then he also wrote folk comedies. Now, what are the works of Synge அப்படின்னு பாத்தீங்கன்னா, the famous works அப்படின்னு கேட்டீங்கன்னா, Riders to the Sea, the playboy of the Western world. Other than that, he has written many other works. The work that is prescribed to us is Riders to the Sea. We will come to it little later, because before coming to the work, I wish to explain to you the Irish theatre revival. We have already discussed Irish theatre revival, and there are videos on the various schools and movements of literature in the playlist of the YouTube channel, JSN English Learning. You can very well watch them. Okay. Now coming to the Irish theatre revival. What is the other name for Irish theatre revival? Abdina, there may be a question. What is the other name? It is called Irish Literary Revival, or it can be called as Irish Renaissance. Renaissance means rebirth. Okay, rebirth of what? Rebirth of the culture of Ireland. And what is the main aim of Irish theatre revival? The main aim was to renew and promote Irish national identity. ஒரு தேசிய உணர்வை உண்டு பண்ணுவதற்காகவே தொடங்கப்பட்ட ஒரு மூமெண்ட் தான் இந்த ஐரிஷ் தியேட்டர் ரிவைவல். They used theater as the medium to communicate to the people the idea of Irish nationalism. Did you understand the teachers? ஏன் எதுக்காக சார் இந்த மூமெண்ட் வரணும் அப்படின்னு கேட்டீங்கன்னா, Ireland was always under the control of Great Britain particularly. So the British colonizers என்ன பண்ணாங்கன்னா, they were actually ruling Ireland, and they were suppressing Irish culture. They were suppressing Irish language and Irish tradition, which means they were enforcing English culture, English language, and English tradition on the Irish people. And people were suffering silently, but there was a group of writers, particularly playwrights. They took it upon themselves to conscientize people the need for asserting one's own identity. What gives us identity? Abdina, our own culture, our own language, our own tradition. Okay, that gives us our culture. சரி, இதுல முக்கியமான தீம்ஸ் என்னென்ன அப்படின்னா, ரொம்ப சிம்பிளா சொல்லணும்னா, they were focusing on cultural nationalism, culture and nationalism, nationalistic spirit மக்கள்கிட்ட உண்டு பண்ணணும். அதே நேரத்துல they wanted to celebrate their own culture, their own walk of life, and they wanted a complete detachment from British walk of life. Okay, did you get that, teachers? Appa, in an attempt, what did they do? They tried to revive Irish mythology, Irish folklore, and Irish language. Why did they want to do it? They wanted to create an identity for themselves. Along with this, they also tried to explore Irish history and Irish national identity. Okay, நீங்க காந்தி ஏன் சார் நூல் நூத்து ஆடை அணிந்தார் அப்படின்னு கேட்டீங்கன்னா, it is our own cultural costume, not the Western man's costume. He was wearing Western man's costume. ஆனா என்ன பண்ணாரு? ராட்டையில நூல் நூத்து, அது நம்மளுடைய உடுப்பு, நம்மளுடைய அடையாளம். இந்த அடையாளத்தை நம்ம எப்பொழுதுமே விட்டு கொடுக்க கூடாது. அட்லீஸ்ட் வருஷத்துல ஒரு நாள் we can think of that. அதனாலதான் வேட்டி வாரம் அப்படின்லாம் கொண்டாட வேண்டியதா இருக்கு. ஏன் அப்படின்னா, நம்ம அடையாளம்லாம் நம்ம மறந்துட்டோம். பானையில சமைச்சதெல்லாம் விட்டுட்டு இப்ப சொபிஸ்டிகேட்டட் கேஜெட்ஸ்ல வச்சு அதுல சமைக்கிறோம். And we spend the hard earned money on medicines. ஏன் அப்படின்னா, நிறைய ஸ்டார்ச் கண்டென்ட் வந்துருது சார், கேலரிஸ் அதிகமாயிடுச்சு. So we spend money. Okay, so we need to revive our own history, our own national identity, our own myth, and our own folklore and language அப்படிங்கிற ஒரு attempt. Did you understand these, teachers?
Yes, sir.
இதுல ரொம்ப முக்கியமான ரைட்டர்ஸ் அப்படின்னு பாத்தீங்கன்னா, the founding fathers அப்படிங்கும்போது there are 3 characters. அதுல 2 மட்டும் நான் மென்ஷன் பண்ணியிருக்கேன். the other one you can find out. இவங்கெல்லாம் they were literary men, அதனால அவங்க 2 பேரும் மென்ஷன் பண்ணி. One is W.B. Yeats. Okay, W.B. Yeats, he was one of the founders of the Abbey theater, where all the plays of these writers were enacted. Abbey theater. And அவருடைய famous works பாருங்களேன், it is the Countess Kathleen, published in 1892 or premiered in 1892. Then Kathleen Ni Houlihan, which was published and premiered in 1802. These 2 works celebrated Irish nationalism, and it used mythology to explore issues of national identity. The second important writer and an activist was Lady Gregory. She was actually a playwright. She was the director and co-founder of the Abbey Theatre. ஒரு தியேட்டர் வந்து உருவாக்குனாங்க. அதுல founder வந்து WBH, co-founder is Lady Gregory. She was an aristocrat who wrote works like The Rising of the Moon. Okay, and it was a play which was also premiered in Abbey Theatre, and The Travelers. What is her unique contribution அப்படின்னு கேட்டீங்கன்னா, she actually tried to preserve Irish language and Irish culture by promoting the study of Irish folklore. ஐரிஷ் ஃபோக்லோரை வந்து இவங்க என்ன பண்ணாங்க, ரொம்ப அதிகமா ஸ்டடி பண்ணி அந்த ஃபோக்லோரை வந்து ஸ்டேஜ்ல கொண்டு போய் மக்களுக்கு சேர்த்தாங்க. நம்மளுடைய நாட்டின் கதைகளை நம்ம மறந்துட்டோம். நம்முடைய பூர்வீக விதை இனங்களை நம்ம மறந்துட்டு என்ன பண்றோம், ஹைபிரிட் வெரைட்டி. ஹைபிரிட் வெரைட்டினால என்னாச்சு, வியாதி ஆயிருச்சு. அதனால திருப்பியும் we are getting back to our own seed varieties. Just 1 minute, teachers. Okay. Now we saw that there were two important people who laid the foundation for Abbey Theatre, and the third person who supported the Abbey Theatre. Initially, he faced with many rejections, but then he became very popular. The man is J.M. Synge or Synge. This man became popular with his controversial play, The Playboy of the Western World. This was a very popular play, but it also was a controversial play. And then he wrote this play, The Riders to the Sea, which presented the sufferings of the sea folk. Okay. And coming to the Abbey Theatre, இதெல்லாம் வந்து important questions வரலாம் அப்படின்னு ஒரு யோசிச்சு I thought of giving some informations here. When was the Abbey Theatre found? அப்படின்னு கேட்டது. The Abbey Theatre was founded in the year 1904. And this theatre was important because it gave chance for Irish intellectuals to present Irish plays. Okay, there were other theatres which only favored English plays and plays which would propagate English culture, English tradition, English ideology. So these people, they started a theatre and they showcased the Irish talent, which actually focused on the Irish stories. Now coming to the theme, என்னென்னலாம் அவங்க ஐரிஷ் தியேட்டர் ரிவைவல்ல இருந்த பிளேஸோடைய தீமா இருந்தது. ஒன்று வந்து நேஷனலிசம் ஐடென்டிட்டி. The second one is they focused on Irish mythology and Irish folklore. What do you mean by folklore? Lore means songs, folk means the common man's song. They took stories from the oral tradition and wrote plays and presented it to the audience. And then Irish theatre revival focused on rural life and the life of the Irish peasantry. Particularly, it focused on the sufferings, the hardships, and the strong sense of community that is found among the rural people. சிட்டியில் அந்த அளவுக்கு பெரிய பிலாங்கிங்னஸ், ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஷிப், நெய்பர்ஹுட் ஃபீலிங்லாம் இருக்காது. ஆனால் கிராமத்தில் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா கஷ்டப்பட்டாலும் சண்டை போட்டுக்கிட்டாலும் there will be a sense of community that I belong to this place. நம்ம ஊரில் ஒருத்தன் கஷ்டப்பட்டா ஒரு நேரத்தில் கண்டுக்காம இருந்தாலும் இன்னொரு நேரத்தில் ஓடி வந்து என்ன நடக்குது அப்படின்னு கேட்பாங்க. So the community will care for the sufferer. அதை வந்து அழகா எதில் காட்டியிருந்தாங்க, இந்த ஐரிஷ் தியேட்டர்ல காட்டியிருந்தாங்க. And then they also focused on the impact of modernity on Irish life. Particularly, they focused on the impact of industrialization on Irish people, the impact of British rule on Irish people. These are the various themes. Now, coming to the negative side, அப்படின்னா what are the challenges and controversies faced by Irish theatre revival அப்படின்னு கேட்டீங்கன்னா, ஐரிஷ் தியேட்டர் ரிவைவல் மேல வச்ச ஒரு பெரிய ப்ராப்ளம் என்ன அப்படின்னா, it was verging on Okay, vulgarity. ஏன்னா நீங்க ஜேஎம் சிஞ்சேயுடைய the playboy of the western world அப்படின்லாம் பாத்தீங்கன்னா there is a hero who actually murders his father and later boasts about it. It's called parricide, and everybody celebrates the man when he narrates the story. Okay, ஏன் அப்படின்னு கேட்டீங்கன்னா the boy the main character actually okay is trying to be a westernized man. Okay, a westernized man in the sense he is not presenting the Irish ideology but little impact of the European ideology, and you find that there is a kind of disrespect towards Irish value. அதனால there was a little problem. Okay, the next one is என்ன பண்ணாங்க அப்படின்னு கேட்டீங்கன்னா some of the critics stated that the Irish theatre revival only focused on the rural life and ignored the urban life. That was one criticism which was placed on the Irish theatre revival plays. The next one is this particular movement celebrated Irish language and Irish folklore. And what was the problem அப்படின்னு கேட்டீங்கன்னா when you are celebrating your Irish language, you are actually limiting your growth. You have to look beyond in order to grow. You need to extend your wings. You need to flap your wings. You need to learn a lot. இவங்க என்ன சொன்னாங்க அப்படின்னா focus on what you have. Focus on your own myth, your folklore அப்படின்னா look at the world other outside. The world is fast developing. You need to travel on par with Europe அப்படிங்கிற ஒரு கான்செப்ட் இருந்தது. நீங்க you are still in the primitive state. Kindly grow up அப்படின்னு critics சொல்லிட்டாங்க. Did you understand all these things, teachers? Right. We will break here and we will go for the next session.